So I have to kind of have this where I'm located because, sorry if there's kind of distraction in the background, but try and tune it out. Hopefully you'll find it worth it. And I'll try to move soon. I just had to plug this in. I guess I could bring this downstairs or elsewhere. Sometimes there is another room. Downstairs the dog might be distracting. Um, Window isn't open that much, but I'll start it up here and then we'll go from there. That's harder to get to though. Maybe I should just stay where I was at. um, so this is very. I mean, I could talk about myself, but I don't really feel like it at the moment. Done some of that today, so this is for the viewers, and I was very eager to actually start because, or some people hear eager as anxious, but that's not really what I mean. I mean like excited, but not an excited way to hear that, to know that people are struggling, but to know that I can try and help them, and that if that goes well, and for then that's a positive thing, and that'll feel good for both of us. So yeah, as the title says, I don't really need to read it out, do I? Somebody was briefly there, and I'll wait till somebody's back. And yeah, because I think I know what I want to say next, but I'll wait till somebody's here. That being said, I don't want to forget what I want to say, and it just kind of came to me because I'm winging it. I mean, and this is a you know one that especially makes sense to wing because or to be kind of on the spot with because I know people don't ring me, but just in case you mishearing me, because I mean, like I say, it's based on not that it's not about engagement, you know, with any who wish to engage in chat in general, but this one especially is. So I mean, I don't know what I'm going to help who with. I don't know what I'm going to help who with. Yeah, that's how you say it. It just sounds a little funny. Um, and so, um, and like I say, because I'm noticing it slightly as well. The background is a bit distracting. I will. It's an old house, and there's not a lot of outlets, and some of them are kind of behind furniture and have other things in them. I don't think this cord is long enough to use it in the living room, and our dog sometimes gets hyper. And well, I could just give him the rest. I think I put it up, but I could give it to him. Um, anyway, let's just see here. I've kind of had titles like this in the past, but maybe not quite the same wording. And I realized I went a little bit wild with the emojis. Um, it was a mixture of being creative, picking ones that I tried to feel as if I mostly feel as if they applied to kind of the helpful theme, and then also just, oh yeah, kind of looking for, like I didn't know if a smiley made sense, but at the same time, it kind of felt like it did. So I suppose I could say the thing that I'm thinking of once I kind of rethink it up. For anybody that views after this, after it's live, because you know, um, yeah. I mean, here's the thing: is some people won't really need much prompting or asking, and hopefully would randomly come across this video and be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to hear that someone's asking and somebody cares. I feel so lonely and isolated. I will open up." Other people are possibly like, I don't know who this dude is, it's some stranger on the internet. But at the same time, I I'm speaking for myself, but I would say most, if not all, people, if they were to do a video titled "How Are You Really? We Really Care," I would think they're a very caring, empathic person. There was somebody there for like a few seconds just before that part. You know, I wouldn't. I know like there's different, outlines, and sometimes you have to go through a real process to get involved with them, and I feel like I can get bogged down by those processes. Um, and I don't entirely feel, for the most part, that they're necessary. Um, like architects, whatever. Like, I mean, that being said, there will be some people, I'm sure, that try and do those things, and they are doing so with um, malintent, or whatever the word is. Um, it almost doesn't occur to me, and it mostly doesn't make sense to me because I'm not that way. But yeah. One thing I do wonder, although I don't want to make it slow, I mean, it's been on and off slow today, uh, is I could plug this in the computer, maybe. I almost did it via the computer, actually, this podcast, but initially I was just going to put like some type of smiley emoji, and I wasn't seeing how, other than like in type, like I wasn't seeing how to do like a yellow one. Um, and I thought, I wonder if the cell phone can. And I was actually, because it's old, we really don't do much on, but I wanted to search kind of something deep, and so I thought, oh, maybe I'd do it there. And I actually went from that to come here and do this because I know that there are people that need to be heard for what they're going through. They feel stuck or alone, whether they're getting lots of input from others or not. And so I want to kind of try and help because I know I'm a smart and caring person. And and there was somebody there to like either just before smart or just after person. Maybe they won't, or maybe they say this later. Like, I definitely really need some help. I will think about reaching out to this guy later, but right now I'm busy, or I need to think about it or something. But yeah, I could say a bunch of general stuff, but I'd rather kind of. Sorry, my eyes kind of sensitive at the moment. I don't know if I got a bit of lotion in it or something that was on my hands, kind of mildly stinging. But hopefully it won't be too distracting. It was okay for like the first few minutes. Like I say, it must have been anyway. But 8 minutes, and there's been one or two people here briefly. Oh, we got somebody that liked it, and I should be able to help every. You know, yeah. Um, so I'm curious. It doesn't indicate it. Oh, there we are. Sorry, I was just saying before you tuned in that I must have had some lotion or something on my hand and touched my eye, so it's watering a little bit and a little bit sensitive at the moment. So don't mind that. But yes, and the viewer left. Like, I don't care about your eyes. I came here for help. Well, I can help you with my eyes by seeing your comment. But either came back or somebody else is here, so welcome. By seeing your comment, and I'll move to a less distracting background shortly. I just had to have this plugged in and change the scenery slightly for myself today. But yes, the viewer left. But you know what? Somebody in support or curiosity for later um, liked it, and that's also nice. And either you're back or somebody else here. I mean, this is great to get the likes. Even better when I'm getting them because I've been able to help somebody through what they're going through. Um, I say I'm a smart, caring person, and I want to be of purpose and service, and it's just in the viewer list, but basically it just but again, that could be technical difficulties. It could be just too distracting in the environment right now. Whatever it is, um, but I will say this, and I really would like to say it when somebody's here to hear it. Not because I need to be heard, but because somebody else does. I mean, both really, but this isn't about me. um, you know, it makes me feel quite sad to know that there are lots of people out there struggling, feeling hopeless, feeling helpless. Let me be honest, because like I don't know, I have no joke there because that was a serious and empathetic and genuine and such statement. Again, maybe it wasn't personal. Could have been technical. Could have been, like I said, the other thing I said could have been they are curious, but they just can't watch right now. I could sit here and say things, random things that may be helpful, and and that kind of thing. So I'm not articulating that very well. But where I think it's really gonna um, be worth it is to talk about the things that I understand this is the internet, but a lot of people aren't shy. You know, aren't shy and aren't lying. You know, so and it's a safe spot. Um, my I did this on the phone, so I can't say for sure, but live chat may not. Nobody's watching. Why am I saying it? Because it's important. Live chat may not show afterwards, but I'm just gonna wait till somebody tunes in. Like I say, this isn't about me. It's never completely, but this one especially, it's about the viewers. You know, I don't do either tarot decks or a crystal ball in front of me or anything like that, but I do have a heart. I do have intelligence, and I want to put it to work to help you through something that you're going through. So feel free to put in the comments, and we're all going through stuff. Some of us more than others, and some of us feel more capable in what we're going through to get through it. But at the same time, I will say, even if you, well, maybe I should wait. I don't know if it's a point worth making, this other thing that just came to my mind. I'll say this. Again, there's the things I've already said, and those could apply. But other than that, I did get one like. Again, it's not just about the likes, but with this or really any of the videos, it's about the interactions and and the joy and such that can be found. Um, but honestly, I don't know if it's been the same person each time because they haven't said anything. Like, I'm back. Have to go for a few minutes. I'm back. It's just been an indicator along the top. But honestly, each one of them, I personally feel, should have given this a like, simply because, again, I think it's for lack of a different word, admirable, or it's very nice of me to do this. You know, um, I don't know if I should be this honest, but it's not that I'm taking time out of a busy day. It's kind of a rainy, windy day and a bit of a slower day for me. I did my plan a couple of hours ago. Other than that, I'm just kind of coasting through this particular day. Um, you know, but I'm guessing that was a noise outside. Yeah, I don't know if I could rotate it. Can I? Nope. What did that say? Orientation. Okay, but I could if I change, if I, because then I could have it, I know it's sideways. Okay, it seems like even if it's on, it won't rotate while live. So I'm thinking I could charge it. You know, that's something, are there phones designed now where the charger is on the side so that you can prop it and charge it at the same time? Or I guess we do have one of those mini tripods, but I don't know where it is. I mean, no, that's probably when even the designers would hope that the owners, you know, take a break and just simply charge their phone. But I can't take a break because, well, the viewer left, but you're like, oh yeah, oh no, either come back. But because, you know, again, whether it's, I don't want to say that somebody's struggle is small, but whether it feels like just a small thing you're trying to get through or a big thing, you know, they don't know. Um, I realized too, one other thing that's coming up that I could mention. It actually doesn't come to mind super strongly, readily at first. But it was President John. I know today with Mark. But one thing that comes to mind, but I kind of want to wait till we get a viewer. As long as I, maybe if I point at that, I'll say something. But unless we have more than one person here, I don't want to. I know what I'll say. And there've been a few times that it's indicated along the top, so it shouldn't be hopefully too long. Oh, we got two. So regardless of your gender, of your, if you're a youth or an elderly, you know, we're all going through, and the viewer left. We're like, I'm none of those. Yeah, I mean, it'd be a bit awkward if it was a kid. Um, and if you're not the other two, then you'd be an angel. Well, those presents. I was so surprised to hear Matt say that they're with you. That they're with you. Um, Not always, or something like that. It was like I was really surprised to hear him say that. Um, but it certainly feels like it sometimes, you know. So what time is it, anyways? About 3 o'clock almost. I'll roll for a little bit longer. I would have, if I would have known that I was going to do this video and that the phone was needing to be plugged in, I would have. I mean, I haven't really used it that much. A little bit this morning, and then it was just kind of sitting on the couch while I was doing other things. But yeah, it drops, and I have a feeling it could drop fast, so I have to keep it plugged in. But yeah. I don't want to sound like I'm talking myself up, but I just thought of something to try saying next time somebody comes in. Of course, the longer it goes without much activity, I know some people are going to look at that and think that it means that, oh, this isn't worthwhile. You know, that's unfortunate because I mean, me and others have great content, and just because sometimes the statistics are low doesn't mean that it's not worthwhile. At least I've kind of kept the things moving on this, but it's been a bit quiet, that's for sure. If it wasn't for having those emojis, I would have just done this on the computer, but it would have been. Well, like I say, it's good to come into this room. I don't come in here super often anymore. There's part of me that wants to just put this down and charge it, and then the kitchen's actually kind of an area where it would be fine, but again, it's the location of the adapter. So, sure, I may not be, and we only have one person, it's only been rolling for 20 minutes, but just one person here at the moment. I may not be familiar to you. I may be. I may largely be like a stranger. But I hope you'll be willing to and see, people are so, I mean, myself included, it's true. People are so quick to just hear something and think something and then react. Scroll or not scroll. Like what could have happened there is they may have said, yeah, you kind of are. Like, I have no idea who you are. But, at the end of the day, we're both people. And I think we both have the power and the ability to have a nice conversation with each other and to possibly, find common ground. And if you're going through something, to be helped and possibly even to give it back. I'm not asking for that. I'm not asking for it in return, but that isn't the goal. If it happens, I'm fine with that. I guess one thing I could do, and if somebody tunes in midway, maybe they'll get what I'm saying. Maybe they won't because they missed part of it. But and then after this, I'll bring this downstairs. Well, for as long as I can before I have to plug it in again. I was just gonna say. Well, I don't feel like the younger generation feels that. Well, we don't have to get hugely into this topic, and it's not just the younger generation, but the younger generation, um, on one side of things, focuses a lot on gender, and on the other side of things, doesn't. In the sense of, um, in the terms of like asking for help, um, you know, when they're stressed out. I think these days, whether they do it on social media or with a friend in person or whatever, I mean, it's something that a lot of people really feel they need, and and I would say it's maybe a bit more the older generation. Um, some would say more so men. It's a personality thing, and it's also how much are you struggling and how much do you care to do something about it. Um, or how much are you willing to you know um, yeah, it's so. But I what I'm trying to say is I don't feel like um, those that identify as male should feel like they aren't worthy of getting support and being heard and that kind of thing. Um, I've kind of mostly never really understood that. I've been through things in my life where it seems like I could try and try and try and try, and you know, either a certain difficulty always seems to be there or there's some other one, you know. But to me, I feel like it's more painful not to try to get support. I mean, I personally, because of the people I live with, the occasional other, and just the, although I almost got injured the other day and it made me kind of think, I could never, in myself take my life. I mean, sometimes there have been times in my life where I wished I could, because it felt like the only way, or it felt like the thing to do. But I just can't bring myself to that point, no matter how hard things are. Um, and I'm here to prevent others from uh, getting to that point where they might actually, you know, do something to themselves. And if you're not at that point and your stress is smaller, put it in the comments. And there was somebody just before that. Put it in the comments, and I'll try and help. Because yeah, it's not a great feeling. I've known this in my life. It's not a great feeling to feel like you're struggling and to feel like you're alone or stuck. And yeah, I mean, I'm saying some things, but really, this is, and there might be some people that have certain opinions about doing so in this method. But I mean, this is YouTube. There's all kinds of people doing things on YouTube. You know what I mean? And all things considered, this is a positive thing I'm trying to do here. Um, I do kind of want to kind of go downstairs shortly, though, I think, and so I either want to wrap this up soon or bring this with me. Um, um, of course, it's on the opposite side than I think it is. Yeah. So I want to, yeah. Um, Part of me is getting the idea to try something a little hypothetical. Just, think of some of the things that people often struggle with. If we get comments and I can help you through something, great. Otherwise, I'll just kind of try and think of something that people often struggle with and, and, you know, offer some input, offer some suggestions. Because this is the thing. This is the thing. That regardless of who's giving the advice, um, people can, people at the end of the day make their own choices. So they can either choose to take it or not take the advice. Or they can take an element of it, you know. Um, and, I will say that there are some people that work in the industry that are very kind of, can't think of the word right now, about giving advice. But it's kind of the industry they work in, so they should be able to do it. Again, just remembering that people can either take it or not take it, and or some aspect of it, may be helpful. And at the end of the day, we're all just trying to do our best. And that should include helping each other navigate life, because it's not always easy, right? Sometimes it'll be easier than other times. But we should be trying to make it as easy for each other as we can, because we all know pain, right? We all know struggle, and we know that it's not fun. Been someone flashing for the past 4 or 5 minutes at the top along there, but I'm feeling like I need to move around a little bit, so I'm thinking of bringing this downstairs. However, it's only at like 23%, so. But you know what? When it gets to 10, I'm sure it'll be okay, like till like 7 or 8, 8 or 9, 10, something like that. I'll come back up and plug it in. I'm hoping that'll give me at least another 10 or 15 minutes, which will bring this to about 45 minutes. And if it's just quiet while rolling, then it's quiet while rolling. Maybe I'll get some comments later. Who knows? I know that there's a lot on YouTube. There's a lot on YouTube and vying for our interest and attention. And a lot of things kind of seem interesting or grab our attention, myself included. So I get, this is a vast pool of content, as with the union in general, So it, yeah. I'm gonna do this in stages, even though I know that this is not charged for very long. I'm just gonna kind of sit here for a few minutes now, and then we'll go from there. I guess I really love Thoraya. I don't know who's heard of her. I saw one of her videos recently, and but hers are in person. That's the thing. But I don't know. The other thing that I'll note is, like I say, I think that most people, not all maybe, but most people have the capability of sharing wisdom and being helpful. They have lived experiences, and that's very powerful. And sometimes services are